What if we gave Miwa, who is already the strongest character in JJK, everything that she lacked? A curse technique, a domain, RCT, the works. Let's talk about it. All right, so shout out to Gravity who asked me about this today, and he says, you once talked about Miwa getting Sukuna's technique, and that's true. I have a whole video talking about that idea for those of you interested. But for this, Gravity says, I want you to assume that Miwa with Sukuna's technique has a year to go extremely hard on training, and she will ultimately get a domain expansion that he says is refined to the maximum possible way, and we're also going to give her every curse tool imaginable and teach her RCT, etc. Gravity wants to know, how far would this version of Miwa go in the verse, and what would her grade be? Could she be Toji, Megami, Gojo, etc.? So, you know, we're getting pretty absurd here, and I don't know exactly how to quantify this, because if we're giving Miwa all of those things, like, she's just Sukuna at that point, right? Like, Miwa with a maximally refined Malevolent Shrine is Sukuna. Like, she just beats everyone. So I think the question kind of loses its purpose there. So, you know, I guess really what we're saying is, like, what are all of those things capable of in Miwa's hands? So I don't think we would say she would have a maximally refined domain, but she could have, like, whatever her potential ceiling is for a domain, right? So I'm assuming that's what you're asking, but I mean, we give her every curse tool. She has RCT. She has a domain, period. Like, she's beating most people at that point, right? But if we're capping her based on her own potential, then she loses to all the top tiers. Like, Toji would probably be able to beat her. Not Megami as we saw him, because, like, he has an incomplete domain, so Miwa would just domain diff him in this stance. Gojo destroys her, Sukuna destroys her. Again, all the top tiers would destroy her. But if we're essentially just making her Sukuna, you know, and it's not capped by her own potential, then she's the strongest in the verse. And then Gravity also asked me how Danny Phantom would fare in JJK, and you know, things always get real wonky whenever we try to equalize two different verses. But on the surface, I don't really know how people in JJK are going to have an answer for what he can do, right? The fact that he can become a ghost, become incorporeal, invisible, possess other people. Like, I don't really think JJK characters can do anything about the things that he can do. So unless we want to say there's some weird verse equalization where we, like, convert what he does into curse techniques, then at that point he's going to be screwed, because he's just going to be outclassed by people like Sukuna and stuff, because he doesn't have a domain expansion, etc. But, you know, on the surface, in a vacuum, I don't think characters in JJK are equipped to deal with what he can do. So he probably has a pretty good time in JJK's verse.